All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you had a wonderful day. Surprisingly, even though we got the biggest tariff action so far, we did absolutely nothing. We came into this week knowing about the tariffs. Today, they were enacted, and even though we were supposed to hear about reciprocal tariffs, the only executive order that Donald Trump signed today, it was in relation to Doge, and then Elon also had a press conference with Donald. It was actually pretty wild, but now, tomorrow, we have this CPI. You also get Jerome Powell. There's going to be a little bit more importance there, but so far with the tariffs and how the market is taking it, we got to talk about that and what you need to look for. I don't think it means the drama is over, but the way the information has been coming out, the market has digested it pretty decently. So that's why tomorrow the data and the CPI will be of importance. We are pricing in just under 1%. We're going to talk about that, but I have that. I have the plays. I even got some long-term talk for you. I don't know if you're ready for that, but what I need from you, a thumbs up on the video. Make sure you're subscribed, and if you don't know, we are live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes before open, youtube.com/the stack market. We will see you there in the morning, baby. Run it.
Walking to the couch, it's the 2020 election. Live in the hills, but I still get a spread. Started with a live, but I still reinvest it. Feel how I feel, then you feel it's a blessing. I just want the lesson, I just want protection. I'm up and I'm down, but they sound like progression. Farmer never plans if he waits for perfection. Finger to the down.
But right off the bat, obviously, we're going to be getting the CPI tomorrow. Since we're in the theme of wing it, let's try to do a speed run. You guys are pretty prepared with all of it. It's very simple as of now. If inflation goes any higher, people aren't going to like it. Can you see that chart? Yeah, so lately, it's been coming down. If this goes up, people will be worried. If it does go down, that's going to be a great thing for the market and everything. Now, here's the funny part about tomorrow. You are pricing in about 0.68%. That is a little bit higher than the last couple of CPIs, but still lower than a crazy blowout. So that's going to be your opportunity just in case there is a major move. But why I really want to make a speed run on this, because the expectation for tomorrow is 0.3. So you guys see the previous 0.2. Let me go over here. But essentially, the expectation by almost every bank is that core CPI is going to go up by 0.3. In a weird way, even though people are worried, consensus is very tight in terms of the estimates. Now, I think it will be key, and now why tomorrow gets really interesting, because even after today in Powell, this is the big thing I want you guys to see. I've said it a couple times on the last few videos, but take a look at the Fed futures. We are now pricing in 38 basis points of rate cuts by the end of 2025. If you don't know what that means, that is one rate cut and then maybe a second one. I think technically the odds are at 50-50. So think about what I was telling you about the whole risk on till summer. I mean, you only have 38 basis points until we start talking about rate hikes, because the probability of the cuts, meanwhile, as everyone's been debating and we've been getting all this data, it's slowly been coming down. So don't forget about that. So like I'm saying, tomorrow we'll be there early. It's going to be a very simple read, a low number. Everybody will rejoice. A higher number, you might see the chips raked in, but then again, and this is what we're going to talk about next here, just take note of the dynamic. We haven't done much, not only in the last couple of days with the big tariff news, but also over the last couple of months. So that being said, I do think today was very telling tariff-wise. The market handled it very well, and this is something we've been talking about. I even brought it up today on the live, but quite simply, the market doesn't like surprises, these out of nowhere, we're going to do this, and we are going to retaliate, and all of this. The market doesn't like it, but as it slowly gets worked in, hear about steel on Friday, don't really sign it till Tuesday, even reciprocal tariffs, it's about to be Monday, you haven't really had much word. You're still guessing, and the markets are taking it all in. So that being said, the market dynamic is changing from just a couple of weeks ago. That's where I'm hoping to keep you guys informed. And if you really want to cut through all the noise, this is what I brought up. It's very simple. just look at the total goods amount and then the critical goods. Once you start seeing critical goods tariffs, that's when the market's going to have a problem. That will be an escalation. Once you start to see a large amount of goods, that's when we have a problem. That's when we have an escalation. So this is the chart that I showed you guys yesterday, and it's very simple. The amount in billions, I just wanted you to notice so far, even the steel stuff, it's 50 billion. The Chinese ones, it's been about 15 billion. And the Canada and Mexico ones are big, but technically we have not enacted anything. But if you go and look at all imports, I don't know if you could see it here at the bottom. No, I might have to bring it up a little bit. But yeah, there's the number. 3.254. It's $3.254 trillion in imports, right? So we're talking about like $60 billion so far. Let's get these numbers up. That's going to be the escalation. So in a weird way, like I'm telling you here, the market is handling this stuff well. We haven't done much, and now this doesn't mean we're not going to escalate in the future, but for now, we're understanding what we can, and the market's going from, oh my gosh, this is terrible, to like, wait, okay, just slowly but surely, people are like, okay, the data hasn't changed much. The amounts are still small, so we're inching through this, and that's why I'm like, all right, understand where you're at, and really all you're looking for, if you want, nowadays you don't need to be looking for, oh my god, this is going to be a major, unless we get a major change, you don't need to tweak out about it, but essentially we are now waiting for the next escalation if you really want to see the market move. Otherwise, this first set in the first salvo of what we're getting into, market has had its ups and downs, but we're handling it pretty decently. So I hope that helps, and I hope you guys are ready for more. That's what makes it so exciting. But now you still have Jerome Powell tomorrow, and you also have the data. So CPI and Powell, that's going to be one part of the morning. You'll probably hear a little bit more about the bills and whether or not we're going to get reciprocal tariffs or not. There was headlines, Modi and JD Vance, they talked about nuclear energy apparently. And remember, as we get into Thursday and Friday, Trump and Modi, they're going to be having their discussions. Japan, even after hours, talked about, responding if there was reciprocal tariffs. So maybe that's a hint on what we get tomorrow. There was light mentions of the EU and them responding. So again, you're hearing companies kind of talking about it. Remember, market's not going to like big, jarring, surprising actions. If everybody handles it chill, I think the market will take it chill. If not, if they tweak, then the market will. But we'll find out. Otherwise, the final thing was that AI summit. It was mostly like bearish neutral. A lot of the countries, even the U.S. led by JD Vance, they did not agree to sign and come together with like 60 countries, I think, rejected it. So no real developments, but it was good. They said they liked open source, so I think that's an overall win. But all in all, we had a lot of these updates. We're still waiting on the reciprocal tariffs. Before you know it, you're going to start hearing about India, and then we will see where tomorrow's data takes us. But now, let us get into the plays. So, right off the bat, I think this is an easy one. TLT. If CPI is good, I would look for November as a playbook. Otherwise, if it's hot, I think TLT might get its own little unique setup here after hitting the election zone and then just go back to being negative again. But essentially, remember kind of how he played out through here. Like I'm saying, November and before that, you did eventually have a sell the rip, and I think that's in the cards. But at the end of the day, if you have good data from here after everything, even some of the stuff we're dealing with, I think that'll be really good for TLT if we have the right data tomorrow. Otherwise, if it's hot data, then you might kind of just stay in this lower range rather than breaking out and then selling the rip. So watch that for tomorrow, but I think that'll be a little bit of an opportunity. I did make a short-term play on that one today. That is play number 1, and then play number 2, Intel. I'm not the CEO yet. I don't know. No one's contacted me back. I've contacted them, but we should contact them now. No, but Intel, literally JD Vance today. It was weird in the morning because the comments came out pretty early and the reaction was like delayed, and then it just snowballed, and then people were talking about chip refresh, but everybody in financial press pretty much settled on it was the JD Vance comments, and he mentioned manufacturing AI and doing it domestically, and everyone got hyped, but like, dude, we were talking about this U.S. chip connection since like the Stargate thing, but hey, if everybody wants to jump on board now, I'm down. It was the biggest move on Intel in a while, so I'd keep an eye on it. We made plays right after the Stargate stuff. Those all went green again today, so we are already positioned, not to mention all the shares in the long term, but we'll see if this actually does get hyped up, if there is a direct announcement, I think it'll be really good for Intel. Otherwise, if this kind of fizzles out, I mean, it'll just fizzle out. So watch out for that. That is play number 2. And then finally, gold, bro. I don't know how to put this to you, man. I don't know what's going on. And I showed you the borrowing costs, but now, like, there's so much more things just piling on. The price goes higher. The vault activity is all going up. And, like, dude, I don't know what's happening. Maybe it's about gold. Maybe it's about something bigger, but something is happening. Again, I'm telling you, only in, like, weird crises or, like really one-off events have you seen this activity in gold. And now even to like the vault activity, the last time you saw like vaults get backed up and stored how they are being stored right now was literally COVID. And I think it's very odd. So I don't know I don't have a play on this. I have physical gold, man. I got my coins. I get to play around. These are silver, but just for the sake of, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I got physical gold. I got a decent amount. I've held it for a while, almost, oh my gosh, 10 years at this point. I'm old. Shout out to long term, but that's how I cope. But at the end of the day, I don't know what's happening with it, but it's something that is, like I'm saying, it's just a one-off event, and I would keep an eye out for it. There could be a speculative opportunity. I mean, the best way might be options, lower your downside, and then, who knows where infinity goes up or down. But at the end of the day, I would keep your eyes out for this. If you got theories, feel free to share them, my friends. But I'm going to be watching out for that. But that is play number 3. And then finally, the long term, bro. Let's talk about it a little bit. I could even show you the long term. Do you see it? Oh, so yeah, it's not too bad. But let me shift it to the other one. That's the CPI. But yeah, well, let's talk about this, and then we could go over it. We could go over both accounts. But the latest pickup was still NVO. We're slightly up on that. It's been dancing around a little bit. I'm sitting on my February deposit, so I have a little bit of cash. I did want Intel, but after today, I don't think I'm going to get it. I want UPS even more after it dropped. Hershey's was on my list. It moved up a little bit. Estee Lauder got cheaper. Nike, Pfizer. These are some of the names I want. I'm not guaranteed to buy them. That's why I haven't bought them yet. But these are a list. Honestly, if you let me know, I might just give you guys a daily look at the portfolio. Again, I think we went down $400 today. I got to log into the smaller account as well. But like I'm saying, the latest pickup was like a little bit over a month ago. And one thing I've been talking about, maybe if I give you guys a daily update, but like any play I'm really like down more than 20%, I don't think I have bought in like several years. From like MPW to Snap, WBD was free shares from that one spinoff, I think, with AT&T, and then Walgreens we bought like a year ago. Then it got further clapped, and then Beyond Big Commerce. I mean, we haven't bought for a while. So although, like I'm saying, I wouldn't buy names that I'm up on. I don't want you guys to go be buying some of these higher price names. But the one thing that I do like is like some of these names, like Intel is still on my list. Airbnb, I would love it just a little bit cheaper, believe it or not. Pfizer, Humana, we just recently bought. DraftKings, I've had for a while. I haven't bought this one in years, but this one came up. We sold covered calls, but like Nike, I still like. Oh, again, I'm waiting for the real estate ones, but we got a good price. That one stayed stable. And then if I'm up on it, I would just wait till it goes down, or if it does get out of reach, I'm going to be focusing on either brand new names or some of these. So the other smaller long terms, pretty similar to that one. Instead of 236,000, it has 26,000. But again, the deposit is a lot smaller. This account is assuming you make $36,000 a year and save 10%. Now, granted, it took a couple of years to get here, and that's something I've been making a lot of note of, and it has different positions. Like this one has Spotify really taking over, and in a weird way, the smaller account has been able to perform and maneuver a lot better with other things. So it's kind of weird, but essentially I'm eyeing the same plays for the same size, or it doesn't really matter the size of the account, but for now, I do want to build a little bit of cash like I've been talking about. So we'll see if any stocks get a lot cheaper. There's a big move. Maybe I'll be ready to move and I'll let you know. But other than that, get you your long term, save 10%. And Chad, that is your watch list, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure Hydrate Healthy ready to go. Make sure post your watch list. Make sure we see you there in the morning. I need the armor on. I need the helmet shining. I need you to remember the best way to not go insane is learn to live with the contradiction. That is where you find peace in the answers, and you will thrive, my friend. Oh, yeah. The beauty of life. Be free, up, down, left, right. You could do whatever you Oh, man. Chattadonian. I love you all. Drink that water. Stay hydrated, healthy, all that good stuff. I'll see you in the morning. And, Horna.